third and final interview segment here. We're talking to the Desmond Momanyi from the Grand Nairobi Bike Race, which will be happening in November. Asante sana, great to have you again. We usually meet once in a year.
Yes, we do. It's become a ritual now.
It's become a ritual, and maybe you can pick up from there. Why is it important for this race to be happening? This is the second edition?
No. So this is the third edition, actually.
Yes.
The first edition of the Grand Nairobi Bike Race happened in 2019. And then we had, of course, a COVID break for 2 years. Then graciously, we got a sponsorship from Jubilee Insurance, who are now the title sponsors of the race. And now the race now is dubbed the Jubilee Insurance Live Free Race, powered by Grand Nairobi Bike Race. So really it's an amalgamation of similar minds, trying to make cycling in Kenya bigger than what it is for now. So as we said, this is now the third edition of the Grand Nairobi Bike Race, to be held in on November 26th. Yes. Yes.
And maybe what's the desire to make it more big, to make it grand, like the name?
As the name suggests, it is a Grand Nairobi Bike Race, meaning it's really a coming together of all the races that are held in the Kenya Cycling Series calendar, and then now they all culminate into the Grand Nairobi Bike Race. And I think what even makes the race bigger is the fact that it has regional participation. Okay, so last year we got participants from all over the Greater East Africa, from Rwanda, from Burundi, from Congo, from Uganda, Tanzania. All of those participated and also managed to scoop some prizes in the categories as well. So I think this is what makes it grand. Yes.
Yes. And talk about the participation maybe of the other East African participants or competitors from the rest of the East Africa.
Yes.
What kind of competition do they bring into the race?
There's a lot of talent out there, for sure. There's a lot of cycling talent out there, and the competition is very, very stiff. In 2019, it was the main race was won by a Ugandan. I think we were in the studio with him last year. It's called Jordan Schleck. Last year, then the title came back to Kenya. But then now we expect a lot of competition from East Africa. Burundi has some amazing talent. So does Rwanda, and so does Uganda, actually. So the competition is going to be very, very stiff this time.
Yeah, and Rwanda and Burundi has been like a hotbed for cyclists. Why is it so?
It has. And especially their federations nurture their talent very, very well. And especially in Rwanda, actually, things from grassroots level, there's a lot that is happening to nurture talent there. So, and I think it is something that we as Kenyans also need to work on, to nurture talent from. And I know there are a few corporations, or rather a few institutions who are doing that right now, nurturing talent from the ground up. I know there's a lot happening in Iten, where cycling, Iten is known for long distance runners. Yes. But now that scene is also not changing, but also in addition to that now, cycling academies are coming up there, and most of them internationally funded. Yes.
Why is it the favorite sport? Why is it
I think the fact that it's high altitude, high altitude, the same factors that help long distance runners great endurance. So I think those factors also come into play. Yes.
And maybe you can talk about Amani and how they've really helped the spice up the competition.
Oh yes, they have. The Amani guys have really done a lot to spice up competition. They also are coming up with a cycling hub in Iten, and they have a lot of talent. They've partnered with Kenyan riders, and they have a lot of talent that they're incubating for the local cycling scene.
What could be borrowed from them?
Well, I think it's just a lot of dedication. It's dedication, and having a keen eye to spot talent and to nurture that talent. Yes.
And maybe you talked about the federation and what they could do, you know, to show up the numbers for cyclists in the country. But what should be happening?
The federation, of course, is there. They bring about they've really set the bar on this. And they'll be actively involved also in the Grand Nairobi Bike Race, because this is a partnership of we are not excluding anyone. So anyone who is in the cycling scene really will be a participant or is a friend to the Grand Nairobi Bike Race, and so is the Kenya Cycling Federation. We are in talks with them. Last year we also had the same partnership, and this year as well. The Kenya Cycling Federation will be on board for the Grand Nairobi Bike Race. Yes.
What happens to the talent that will be spotted at the Nairobi Grand Bike Race?
What we are doing is we are giving a platform for talent to be spotted. So really, after that, we are sort of we are not in the scene, but for us, I think the whole idea for the Grand Nairobi Bike Race is to showcase talent. So then, and we hope then that people will see the talent, the local talent that is out there, and jump on board, especially with corporations, and to take up cycling as a sponsorship avenue. Yes.
And how important was it for the organizers to get that particular partnership from Jubilee?
This was very, very big. This was had never been done before in the local cycling scene. So the partnership between Grand Nairobi Bike Race and Jubilee Insurance created fertile grounds for the expansion of cycling and especially bicycle racing in the Kenyan scene. So we are very, very excited to partner with Jubilee Insurance. And as you said, they took up the title sponsorship, and hence the race being called the Jubilee Insurance Live Free Race, powered by the Grand Nairobi Bike Race.
Yes, and what with the categories and what would be at stake?
Awesome. So this is and another reason why it's called the Grand Nairobi Bike Race is we've put together all forms of all categories of cyclists. So we have the kiddies race. We'll start off with the kiddies race. It will be just around 1 kilometer for the very, very young ones. Okay, and then after that we'll have the family fun riders. There are very, very many people with bicycles in their balconies or in their stores. So we are saying everyone should come for there's a family fun ride. And then after the family fun ride, we have people with disabilities. Okay, so that is also a category that we've included, and not forgetting our Black Mamba cyclists. So Black Mambas, of course, we always see them on the and Black Mamba is a very, very important category for us in forms of inclusion of all types of cyclists. And then now the main event now will be the main race, where now the elite now will battle it out for glory. Yes.
How is it? What's the possibility of the guy coming with the Black Mamba progressing to the elite? Maybe with time.
Maybe with time. You see, the Black Mamba is a different kind of bicycle.
Yes.
And the elite guys, you see, will have proper road bikes. So those are two separate categories. But again, of course, with time now, you can always progress based on the advances that you make on your personal development in cycling. Yes.
I talk about the qualities from Kenya that will be there. You know, past winners. Who else will be there? Yes.
Well, we are looking at the Karaya. We are looking at Karaya. We are looking at even Jordan from Uganda. We are looking at a lot of talent. There's Brian Tubbs, of course, who's number one fan. There's going to be a lot of competition, especially from the Kenyan riders, from the Sosi guys. There's going to be a lot of competition this year around. Yes.
And of course, the theme or the title of the race is "Live Free."
Live
right?
Free. Yes. So "Live Free," of course, is a Jubilee slogan That is a Jubilee Insurance slogan. That is what they go by. And that is why the race, from title sponsorship then, the race was a live-free ride. Yes, so live-free from Jubilee Insurance, yes. Yes.
I mean, and how do you hammer home the theme?
Well, I mean, cycling is for health. Cycling is for health. And you know that health is when you're healthy, then you live free. You know, I think that is the bottom line of the theme. So cycling is for health. Cycling is for greener cities, of course. More bikes, less cars, less pollution. You see, so these are the tenets that we are going by. Yes.
What kind of moments do you think that cycling is bound for before the sport becomes popular again?
This sport's popularity has grown immensely, especially during COVID, yeah, because you see there was this whole lockdown and all that, yeah, and a lot of people picked up cycling. So really, I'd say at the moment, even based on the numbers that we were able to attract last year, cycling in Kenya has really grown. It has become bigger. Even on any Sunday or any Saturday, when you are Yaki Way on these major roads, you'll see a very big group of cyclists all going out. A popular spot, of course, is also on your way to Namanga, Kajiado. So those are very popular cycling routes, and especially over the weekends. So the sport has really grown by leaps and bounds. Yes.
And of course, cyclists don't have their own route. They use the main roads.
They use the main roads, yes. So, and this is a conversation that has been had in very many circles. And for this, I'd like to thank the Kenya Urban Roads Authority, KURA. KURA have been very instrumental in creating NMT, non-motorized transport lanes. You'll see that even as you go up on Ngong Road, on some of these major roads, there's a bike and pedestrian lanes. There are many lanes that have been constructed by KURA. So and even on the same breath, I'd like to say that KURA is also a very strategic partner to the Grand Nairobi Bike Race, because we find that we are very aligned in what we are trying to achieve. Yes.
And of course, the need or the idea, the agenda is to push it further and have more, lanes up for the cyclists.
Yes, for sure. Because infrastructure needs to change, needs to be included. A lot of early civil engineering practices did not see cyclists as road users. So in a lot of early designs, really, non-motorized transport were never included in any roads. People thought that roads were just for cars, yeah? But roads are for the people. So, and also cyclists also have a right to the road. And in the same breath also, NTSA, because we're also partners in this, the National Transport Safety Authority, NTSA is also a partner in this year's race. They have the Usalama Barabarani campaign that is running, because we want to highlight safety for cyclists on the road.
Yes, and of course, even as we have that particular conversation, Nairobi could be leading in terms of trying to create those routes for cyclists, but it could be the obvious reason being the seat for economic in the region.
Yes,
but again, what is the challenge for the rest of the towns or counties?
I mean, it's also about space. You see, because a lot of these other towns have already been developed. Let's say, probably it's not for me to say that's something that NTSA would or KURA would speak more broadly on. But in my opinion, probably it's all about space, because some of these towns you see are small and the roads are already designed that way. But I think it just calls for a redesign. It can be done because cyclists can be given space. We usually say 1.5 meters from the shoulder. So cyclists can be given space, and it's good for motorists to be aware and to also respect that cyclists have a right to be on the road. Because a lot of times what happens is motorists believe, or some motorists believe, that cyclists don't have, so they'll go hooting to them or be very, very close, drive by very, very close to them. And that's dangerous, because a cyclist's life is also as valuable as anyone else's. Yes.
And of course, the incidents where the cyclists have unfortunately lost their lives has not been one of the last things that should be seen. Very,
very, very tragic. Very, very tragic. We've lost quite a number of friends in the cycling fraternity. May their souls rest in peace. And again, I want to say that is slowly reducing. A few mishaps happen, and I think this conversation still needs to be had over and over and over again. There needs to be more education, public awareness about cyclists being on the road and observing safety. Yes.
I mean, and Kenya, looking at the country has not been short of cycling talent. We're talking about Froome, the former Tour de France winner.
Yes.
And knowing that he trained with the Kinjas.
Yes.
I mean, how can the country utilize such talents?
I think the federation should really up their game, because the Kenya Cycling Federation is critical and is key to not just sporting but also nurturing talent. So I think, as we say in Kiswahili, ili ni changamoto for the Kenya Cycling Federation to up their game. They are doing what they can. I think there's always room for improvement. Yes, so it's for the Cycling Federation really to nurture that, and also for us as a Grand Nairobi Bike Race to give platforms, because there are many races that happen in the cycling calendar. So it's for us to give platforms where this talent can be spotted. Yes.
And of course, Grand Nairobi Bike Race, what are the factors that did determine the route?
It's a race in the city. So for us, we wanted, and again, you can't have people coming from as far as Congo just to do an easy loop. To do an easy loop. So for us, we had a mix of everything. We from switches to climbs to flats, just to make it very, very exhilarating. So we're saying that we'll be starting from KICC. That is where we'll be having the village per se. Then onto Uhuru Highway, up Langata Road. So you see that's a very, very steady climb. Up Langata Road to Uhuru Gardens, where we'll have a checkpoint there. And then the cyclists will still come down on Langata Road. Then from Langata Road onto Aerodrome, and then up Bunyala Road. You know that climb is it's very, very steep. The Bunyala climb. And so from Bunyala, lower hill, then still up climbing to upper hill. Then circle back and all the way down now to Uhuru Highway again at Nyayo Stadium and Nyayo House. U-turn and then back through Intercontinental onto City Hallway. So that is a 16-kilometer loop, and we are saying for the elites will do that loop 5 times. So it's going to be a challenge.
Yes. And for the elite racers, for the elite cyclists, it won't be about endurance alone. Won't be able to help them carry the day.
Well, endurance is one thing, but you need to be very, very tactical. And in the elite race, we also have the teams where people can register and cycle as teams. So even with teams, then you'll need to be very, very tactful. It's not just all about endurance, but you'll also have to be very tactful. So tactics will play a very, very big role here. Yes.
Maybe you can mention some of the big names that have already enlisted for the race.
Oh, yeah. Of course, Zuzu, Hashim Zuzu is always the number one fan. Yeah? The number one fan. Who else? You have your Schlecks, you have your Karaya, all of those from Kenyan riders. So we've had quite a number of registrations. We are driving up the registration. We are drumming up the registration drive. That is why we are here. We are telling people to register online and to come and participate in large numbers. Yes.
Where can they go to register?
So all registration is online at jubileegnbrlivefreerace.co.ke. So all registrations are done online. Yes.
And it will have how many categories?
So as we said, we have four categories. We have the kiddies race, and then we have the paracyclings, then we have the black mambas, and we have the elite. And in the elite, that is the main race, we also have subcategories. So in the subcategories, we have the under 20, under 23. We have the elite now. Then we have the veterans, and we have the seniors. So what you're saying is, even those who are above 50 will have their own subcategory, but in the elite race. Yes.
Yes, and from yes, sorry.
So even in the paracycling, we also have 3 categories there. There's for the physically challenged. There's for hearing impaired and for speech impaired people. So we'll also have 3 categories there. Yes.
Why is it important to have them in this race?
I mean, this race is all about inclusivity. It's all about inclusivity. Any type of cyclist, any person who can cycle, we are saying this is your day. So this race is the Grand Nairobi Bike Race is all about cyclist inclusivity. Yes.
Yes, and looking at last year's race, what are some of the lessons that you carried forward to this year?
The biggest lesson we had was safety. Safety for cyclists on the route and proper marshalling. So that is why we're in talks right now with the Kenya Urban Roads Authority to enhance a few spots that deemed a bit dangerous for the cyclists. There were a few mishaps that happened. So the biggest take home for us is safety, because of course we want to avoid being a sporting activity. It might be inevitable, but and even with our ambulance partners, but in talks with the Kenya Urban Roads Authority, with the NTSA, and even with the County of Nairobi, to enhance safety for the cyclists. Yes.
And being that it could be the only ones, running such a magnitude event in the city.
Yes.
It comes with a lot of the knowledge, technical knowledge that you get. It has to be here annually.
It is. It's a very, very big learning curve for us and my co-director Lois, and even the team that with the management team, the project management team that are spearheading this. So really it's a big learning curve for us, but I'm saying that we are up to the task, and this year looks to be very, very, very big. Yes.
Yes, indeed. And we're speaking to Desmond Momanyi, who is the director for the Grand Nairobi Bike Race, which will be happening on November 26th. That's at the KICC, and registration is ongoing.
Yes.
Of course, we still talking to him. He'll be telling us when is it closing and their registration charges. And also, this could be a motivation. Who the person who wins across the categories, what will they be taking home? People want to know that. Though sometimes that's not really important, but people really want to know. But of course, let's go to Kisumu, join our reporter Wycliffe Okech, who... But back to our discussion here about the forthcoming Grand Nairobi Bike Race, just as we head towards the conclusion of this interview, Desmond. So what will be at stake for the winners across the categories?
We've, of course, with the partnership with Jubilee Insurance, we have a pass, a total prize money of about 3 million shillings that is going to be shared out amongst about 100 cyclists across all categories. So 3 million shillings will be the total pass, and we are saying like the main race, the elite cyclists will walk away with 120,000 shillings. So this will be equal between the men and the women. So what you're saying is what the men will, number 1, 2, 3, up to 10 for the men, will have the same and equal amount for the ladies as well. Yes.
Yes, and the impression that you get from last year's winner, could there be some of the those who took part last year and won, they'll be making a return to the competition?
Oh yes, for sure. Many of them have already confirmed participation, because it's a very, very healthy, to say, a pass. So many of them will be making a return, of course, to defend their titles, but also to try and bring more challenge to the game. Yes. Yes.
Will it be easy for them?
No, of course not. we can't make it easy for anyone. So of course, nothing good comes easy. So it is a pedal to glory, as we say. We have to pedal to glory.
Yes. And the progression of this, the Grand Nairobi Bike Race, what kind of model is it trying to emulate or copy?
No, I think being unique is also good. We sometimes, of course, we'll follow international standards, but I think being unique is good, because there are not many races where they're all inclusive in this category. So I think that is what makes the Grand Nairobi Bike Race very, very unique. Yes.
Yes, indeed. And maybe looking across at the borders, the Rwanda Gorilla Race does it come close to that?
No, because you see, that's a multi-day event.
Yes.
And this is a one-day. Event.
Yes.
Yeah, the Rwanda Epic is really it's a very, very tough race that goes multiple days. But even the Tour du Rwanda, of course, is a multiple-day event. Maybe in the future we'll think of now having something similar to that. But the Grand Nairobi Bike Race is unique in itself. Yes.
Yes, and the success of this year's event, what will it present?
Well, success for us would mean an all-enjoyable day for everyone. Yes, that would be our success. Of course, to have as many participants across the continent or across the region as well, and also for our sponsors, value for all our sponsors who are going to come on board, and of course safety. Safety is our number one priority for that. Yes.
Maybe you could talk about some of the technical expertise you've enlisted to help ramp up the race and seal to call them the gaps from
those
last
gaps,
year. Yes, the loose gaps.
Yes. So we are working with very, very professional service providers. Probably might not mention their names here at the moment, but we are working with very professional service providers to ensure that the race is held very, very professionally. Our race timing equipment is also up and running. So and also in talks with the engineers from Kenya Urban Roads Authority and also the county to ensure that the roads are swept and the roads are all sealed for the safety of cyclists. And that I'll say again and again that safety for the cyclists is our number one priority. Yes.
When is the registration closing?
The registration will close a week to the event. So from the 26th, I think we'll close it on the 19th. No, 2 weeks to the so that we can farm up and especially on the timing equipment that we have, so that we can properly configure it. Yes.
Yes.
So Kenyans are used to doing things last minute. I
So
think
there could be a deadline extension.
There is, we'll see. We might not work with an extension, but we'll make it very, very easy for anyone just to register. But we are saying we'll be closing registrations 2 weeks to the event.
Yes, indeed. Yes. Of course, across the 4 categories, how many cyclists or participants are you expecting?
Last year, we had a never been seen number of 1,000 participants on the streets of Nairobi. This year we are saying we want to ramp that up to 2,500. So this registration drive is we're really upping the game here on this drive. So we want to see 2,500 participants this time round.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Desmond Momanyi, the director for the Nairobi Grand Bike Race, which will be happening on November 26th here in Nairobi. Of course, more than 2,000 participants expect to take part across 4 categories, and they'll be all pedaling to glory. At stake will be almost 3 million shillings for the winners across all those categories. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Desmond.
Thank you for having me.
We wish you all the best.
Thank you.
And people should go register for the race before the deadline, and that will be the last final week of that particular, before the event is held. That's on 26th. Thank you so much, and all the best.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you so much for being part and parcel of the conversation on Sports Checker this lovely morning. Kurunzi Mashinani is up next. I'm Bernardo Kumu. See you next time.